Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Mohamed Salah agreement reached as Liverpool handed transfer solution for 2026. Joe Gomez handed Liverpool exit route as defender, first choice transfer option. Liverpool could be missing 8 players versus Wolves as Arne Slot waits for update on duo. Now details. As the end of another year approaches, the hard work looks as though it is only just beginning for Liverpool, and there is one massive question that will need to be answered in 2026. Arne Slot, of course, has plenty on his plate as he looks to rescue what has been a disappointing defence of the Premier League title. Already, the Reds' hopes of reclaiming their crown look to be over, but there is still the prospect of silverware to come in the FA Cup and the Champions League. There is an immediate concern that needs to be addressed at the start of the new year, though: Mohamed Salah. Although Slot looks to have repaired some bridges with the Egyptian, his future is still up in the air following what was an explosive outburst against the club, in which he accused someone at Anfield of trying to drive him out. Talks are set to continue between the players' representatives and Liverpool while he's away at the Africa Cup of Nations, but as things stand, all options could be on the table. Salah may see out the rest of his contract at Anfield, but he may have already played his final game for the club. So what should be done about Salah's future? Our Liverpool.com writers have had their say. Matt Addison. There is no doubt that if the Brighton game did prove to be Salah's last appearance for Liverpool, that would be a very sad end. Watching him walk around the outside of the pitch at the final whistle, though it didn't seem like that was going to be the case. Really, AFCON has come at the perfect time. By the time Salah comes back, whenever that might be, things should have cooled down a little. Already, he looked like a man with a point to prove as he came off the bench against the Seagulls. The ideal scenario that suits everyone is probably for Salah to come back, reintegrate himself properly, even if that means being a sub sometimes, and for him to go out with more of a bang, whether that is this summer or next. He deserves a proper send-off. Perhaps if Liverpool can win some silverware this season, Salah could wave goodbye then and go out on the high that his time at Anfield warrants. Then again, fairytale endings rarely occur in soccer, and much will be down to the Egyptian. We certainly haven't heard the last of it. James Findlater. I don't think the saga is over by any means. Arne Slot may have got Salah back on side for the time being, but I don't think the Egyptian will have any problem with airing his grievances again if he doesn't find himself back in the team after AFCON. If Slot and Liverpool can keep him happy for the remainder of the season, then he should undoubtedly be kept beyond January. It has to be on Slot's terms though. That means if Salah is not a guaranteed starter anymore, he has to accept that. Keeping him until the summer and re-evaluating the situation then is surely the best outcome Liverpool can hope for, and I suspect that is when we will say goodbye to Salah. The interest from Saudi Arabia isn't going to disappear anytime soon, so there shouldn't be any thoughts of trying to sell him as quickly as possible. Having said that, I think a parting of the ways in the summer is in the best interests of both parties. Michael Plant. Perhaps any doubt about Salah's next steps disappeared when Alexander Isak suffered that unfortunate leg break in Liverpool's final match before Christmas. Truthfully, keeping Salah on board felt likely beforehand, given the important role the winger still plays, but now it is imperative he returns and is back to his best after AFCON. Yet the fallout of that bombshell interview will likely roll into the new year. Certainly, Liverpool saw Salah's AFCON departure as a chance for everyone to draw breath rather than a definitive line in the sand. The 33-year-old has apologised to his teammates, seemingly repaired most of the damage with Slot, and is still adored by the Anfield masses. Even if there is some disciplinary action for Salah's self-centered comments, it's unlikely to cause too many ruptures. But Salah will have to accept a new reality at Liverpool in 2026, one in which he is no longer a guaranteed starter, and he may be expected to play a different role in the side. Slot has tended to select teams without natural wingers of late. Could Salah find himself operating in a more central role, or with added defensive responsibility? Liverpool will hope he returns buoyed by his experience in Morocco and eager to put right the wrongs of the season's opening months. Then, bigger questions will no doubt emerge ahead of the summer market. Joe Gomez handed Liverpool exit route as defender, first choice transfer option. Joe Gomez remains a target for AC Milan, with the Liverpool defender being linked with a loan move to the San Siro in January. Gomez was linked with a move to Milan back in the summer, with a deadline day move having been touted as the Reds chased a deal for Marc Guéhi. The 28-year-old's departure, though, was called off, with Guéhi's move to Anfield collapsing shortly after. Milan, though, has continued to be linked with Gomez, and despite his current injury, reports in Italy are suggesting that the seven-time European champions could launch another attempt to sign him in the new year. According to Calciomercato, Gomez is still Milan's first choice as it eyes up a new defender. Massimiliano Allegri is thought to be looking another option after making a late switch to back three in his defence, and with summer signing Coni de Winter struggling. Milan's sporting director Igli Ter is said to be exploring the possibility of a loan deal, although that is likely to be tough ask considering the current situation at Anfield. Gomez is currently out of the side after picking up another injury during the win over Brighton earlier this month, and with Giovanni Liani out for the remainder of the season, Liverpool currently has Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate as its only recognised centre-backs. Indeed, Liverpool is not expected to entertain any offers for Gomez, meaning Milan will have to look elsewhere. Juventus defender Federico Gatti has been linked with a reunion with Allegri, with the Milan boss claimed to have called his former defender to express his interest. Juve though doesn't consider the player to be on the market, even with a swap deal for De Winter having been suggested. Liverpool could be missing 8 players versus Wolves, as Arne Slot waits for update on duo. Arne Slot will be hopping for some good news from training today, as Liverpool gears up for its final game of 2025. The Reds host the Premier League's bottom side Wolves at Anfield on Saturday. And they'll be expected to end the year with a win to boost their hopes of a top 4 finish, with the defence of their title looking like a tall order now. Liverpool won't be helped by a depleted squad though, with as many as 8 players potentially missing from Slot's squad tomorrow through injury, suspension or international duty, with the head coach keeping his fingers crossed that 2 of his players can prove their fitness today. Connor Bradley and Cody Gakpo are both doubts, but could be in contention if they manage to take part in training on Friday. Slot suggested both could be involved in today's session at the AXA training centre, having missed training earlier in the week before being given Christmas Day off, along with the rest of the squad. Bradley is a doubt after being forced off at half-time of last weekend's win over Tottenham with what looked like a hamstring issue, while Gakpo has been missing since the 3-3 draw with Leeds earlier this month, but should be closing in on a return soon. Liverpool could do with both being available this weekend, given some of the other issues plaguing the squad at the moment. Alexander Isak is the latest to have been ruled out, having suffered a broken leg in North London last week. The striker underwent surgery on a fractured fibula and ankle problem, and now faces at least a couple of months out of action, although Slot has raised hopes that he will be able to return before the end of the season. For now though, he joins Joe Gomez, Wataru Endo and Giovanni Liani in the treatment room, and the Reds aren't helped by the enforced absences of Mohamed Salah and Dominik Szoboszlai either. The former is of course away at the Africa Cup of Nations, with Egypt looking set to at least reach the knockout stages after winning its opening game, while Szoboszlai is serving a 1-match suspension after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season at Spurs. That will cause Slot to have yet another rethink with his side on Saturday, with the Liverpool boss not taking anything for granted, even against a side that has claimed just 2 points from its 17 games so far this season. Every game in the Premier League is a dangerous game or a difficult game, Slot said on Tuesday. But I see the same as what you were just saying, that their results throughout the whole season haven't been what they were hoping for, but they come closer and closer to results, especially Arsenal away of course, where they were very close to a result over there.